Yo, YouTube, what's the vibes? This is your boy Bad News. This is Bad News Hood Media. Take a second to look around the channel, see if there's something for you. If there ain't, get up out of here pretty fast. But if there is, what I need y'all to do is hit that subscribe button down below. Also, turn the bell on so you get notified when I drop these bangers. Yeah, man, new video. So, everybody is talking right now. Everybody knows what happened yesterday. We've seen the clips. I'm going to play it down here in the corner because I'm not going to play the audio. I might play a little part, but for the most part, I'm not going to react to it. I'm just going to talk about what I seen go on and give my little 2 cents because people want to know. They're asking me on TikTok what I thought. Here's my little spill on it. So if you're sleeping under a rock, well, first of all, let me say, if you're seeing this video, you made it through the eclipse. You're still here. You know what I mean? We're still here. We made it through. You know, you're one of the chosen ones that made it through the eclipse, and you're still alive. So, hey, bro, I'm in there with you. But like I said, if you haven't seen it, go ahead and look. You know, y'all see the hood stocks situation. First and foremost, let me say this: I got a lot of love for Lucky. You know, he helped me put someone in position recently. Although it didn't go quite as well, it still went pretty good. And you know, it is what it is. It's a solid dude. And then I respect what Lefty's doing for the culture. You feel me? But a lot of things took place on there that shouldn't have happened, you know. And I'm gonna speak my truth about it. We're not too long, but I'm gonna let y'all know. So, if you haven't, like I said, if you've been asleep under a rock or you're hiding from the fucking sun or whatever, then you probably don't know what's going on. And if you don't, there's a famous podcast, you know, for Chicanos, for Mexican culture. It's called Hood Stocks. Homie Lucky runs it. It's a solidified podcast. It's a dope ass podcast. It brings a lot of knowledge and shit to our culture, you feel me? So, and then if you don't know who Lefty Gunplay is, he's a rapper out of Bowen Park, the SGV. He's probably one if not the best rapper out of there. And not to say the best, but he's taking the most, like, he got the most fucking following. Like, he's huge. This fool blew up within days, and the shit's crazy. But he's the biggest rapper out there for sure right now. So Lefty goes on, and guys, excuse me if I get these names confused. They're a lot fucking alike. So he goes on this platform. Everything is cool. They're getting it in. Good interview, solid interview. They call one of the pioneers in this music shit, Bozo. He's gonna pull up. Everything's good. And I'm skipping, of course, but a couple things are said, you know. And Lefty don't like what was said, you know. I believe at one point Lucky told him, "Fuck you," and he didn't like that. As y'all know, in our culture, there's words that you cannot say. Bitch, punk, weirdo, fuck you. Those are words like it's time to get busy, you know. So, Lefty calls it out. He calls it out. He says, "Hey, bro, why are you gonna say that I'll walk out?" Right away, Lucky gets on defense mode. He gets on defense mode and he starts going in. Then he apologizes. And keep in mind, guys, they're wasted. They're both wasted. They're drinking a lot of shots and shit like that, so they're drunk. So that never mixes. Another important factor to this is they take their shirts off. As y'all know, Lefty Gunplay takes his shirt off on every interview. That's just what he does. He does that for a reason. If you don't know the reason, if you haven't did time or none, you kind of set your mark as the alpha when you do that shit. Take my shit off, you know, show off my tattoos. I'm gonna fucking show you. You know what I mean? Like, they're gonna show tattoos off. It kind of sets the tone for things. You know what I mean? Like, if you walk in a spot and you see a tatted up dude and 6 other guys with their shirt on, what are you gonna think? That tatted up dude's probably the one, right? So he does that. But Lucky also takes his shirt off. So it's already kind of this competition thing. Things start going left. They can't get past the comment that he said, and you know, it just goes bad. He says that he'll walk out. You're gonna talk to me like I'll walk out. Lucky's obviously disrespected, so he tells him, you know, we can catch a fade. He jumps up. Everybody's trying to say, nah, just chill. This shit don't need to go down. Guys, understand, that's not nothing out of the normal. That shit happens all the time. If you've never been drunk with your homies and the shit went down like that, then you probably don't have some real homies, because I've had that happen so many times with some of my best friends. It just happens, you know, then you move on from it. The issue I think here is that Lefty Gunplay goes on every interview And it's not that he takes over the interview, it's just that he does his thing. He just talks, he does his thing. He's real outspoken, he's real energized. Like, he kind of brings that energy that everybody usually likes, you feel me? But the problem is he ran into Lucky. See, the way that Lucky runs his interviews, he runs kind of like a clean slate. It's never like that. I mean, he gets messy when he's drunk, which he was. But he kind of runs like a I don't want to say a strict, but he runs like a good program. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna ask the questions. It's back and forth. It's like a real podcast. You know, a lot of them are quiet, but in this case, that's not what Lefty's on. You know the way that Lefty is in podcasts. This fool's gonna, like Kevin Gates almost. Like, he's just gonna do his thing. He's just gonna flow and take it over. Not take it over per se, but he's just gonna do his thing. You really don't gotta ask him questions. He's just gonna talk. So I think that was one of the biggest downfalls, is that Lucky didn't realize that that's what he does. And maybe Lucky expected him not to do that because, and another thing, I feel like Lucky probably felt disrespected because he stood up for his mom against, a recent guest. Shout out to my boy Kenny Thunder. I feel like he stood up to him and said, like, apologize for the mom, blah, blah, blah. I feel like because he did that for Lefty, because he don't know Lefty's mom, I feel like he probably expected more out of Lefty, like for him to almost like big brother him, like, nah, fool, you're gonna show respect and listen because I just did this for your jefita on my platform in front of millions, So I think there was already that, like, he's like, this fool's not respecting me because he's not, because I did this shit for him and he's just not respecting me. But the thing about it is that they don't realize is Lefty is not. A lot of old heads would probably think Lefty's disrespectful just because how he carries himself. He don't always look in the eye. He'll be turned around answering questions. He's talking to people off there in the side, That's just who he is, You should have known that by the podcast that he does. He does it all the time. He's out of his chair, He's just real, like, a younger mentality, you know what I mean? And Lucky, I don't think Lucky was ready for all that, So stuff starts going bad. I don't think Cash was there. If Cash was there, I feel like the shit wouldn't have went that way because he's always keeping Lucky or Lefty kind of like in a box where he needs to be so he don't get himself in trouble or become a liability to the homies with what he's saying. You feel me? So, like I said, it starts going bad. He calls him out. They're trying to say nah, all this shit. Someone says arm wrestle. And it's all bad. The next day it's all bad. They're saying Lefty turned down the fade. He's a punk. All this shit. When I sit here and I watch this, I watched it a couple times. I watched some reactions to it. 90% of people wouldn't have fucking took that fade. And we don't know if he did take the fucking fade or not. You're not supposed to know. It's not for the cameras, bro. That's Southside politics that don't come out. You're not supposed to know that shit. So we don't know what happened when the cameras turned off. Just because he didn't spaz on him right there doesn't mean that he didn't take the fade. I don't know what people expect, bro. That this is what people are thinking, bro. That these two guys that are both pretty successful. Well, Lefty's really successful. He's a millionaire. This other dude that's pretty successful. Both of them done a gang of time. Both of them have had rough ass lives. Never had no type of fame until now. You guys really expect them to get down on camera in front of 3,000 viewers? Like, they're just going to pop it off like that. Of course they're not going to fucking do that. I think that the call out shouldn't have been said. I don't think Lucky should have said that. But I felt like he felt disrespected. And when he was disrespected, drugs and alcohol, of course, are a factor. But when he's disrespected, I don't think he reacts too good. We've seen in the past with callers how he blows up on him. He trips quick, He has a very short fuse. So when he feels disrespected, he's going to go. Well, when Lefty felt disrespected, he went too, and they just clashed, bro. But that's shit that happens all the time. We don't know what happened when the cameras came off. I've seen the FaceTime with Hater World, shout out to him, with Lefty. I don't know. It's not something that needs to be talked about. I feel like this shit should just be left alone because we don't know what happened. Obviously, if they did catch a fade or not, we don't know that. Why would they tell you? They're not supposed to tell you. It ain't for the public eye. But another thing that I'm gonna say is, I don't really know what people, the people that are saying this shit. Oh, he turned down the fade. Those are people living in their fucking in their broken down ass house that don't have nothing going for them, Why would he take the fade when he's a fucking millionaire with all these people around so he can go back to jail? Like, how dumb is that, bro? Honestly, how dumb is that for him to just start swinging on this fool? At some point, y'all guys gotta put... And I can understand. I can understand y'all that are still in the hood. Y'all are still thugging. Y'all are still stuck in that. He's not in that no more. Why would he do that? Why would he risk his business, everything that he's built, his whole family's taken care of, to take this fade so that people wouldn't say that? Like, and I feel like he was going to, but I don't know. I don't know. All my opinion I know that is that Lucky podcasts a certain way. Lefty fucking gets on interviews a certain way, and they didn't mix, bro. They didn't mix, and that, I don't know if that should have happened right now. Maybe down the line when they're in a better spot, it should have happened. But right now, I feel like, you know, Lucky's been going through some things. Lefty's obviously young still. He's a young-minded dude. It was just all bad, you feel me, from the jump. The thing that I will say is that drugs and alcohol are a very, very big factor to Hoodstock staying alive, to kind of not do this shit, man, because he's had 2 big interviews. One, King Little G, and he was cussing at the callers and all kinds of crazy shit, bro, that I know King Little G didn't respect. That was like the biggest one that he's had. I don't want to say he blew it, but it kind of got trucked a little bit, you feel me? And then now this, the Lucky one, is fucking huge, bro. It was going to be huge regardless, and that's just the way it is. You mention this fool's name or something, it blows up, you feel me? That's just, he's just a viral person, you know? And it was going to be huge, but unfortunately it went like this, and now everybody's fucking spinning all these narratives and laughing at the whole culture of us, and it's crazy, you know? I think that that shit that happens every day, but it doesn't happen in front of 3,000 people. I don't feel like there was nothing that could have been done at that point to avoid it, but at the same time, I don't know. If it was me, and I felt like I needed to check somebody like that or whatever, I would have done it in a more respectful way. And this is playing devil's advocate, because like I said, Lucky's my boy. I would have done it in a more respectful way than he did it. I would have told him, but drugs and alcohol, bro. When he gets drunk, he's kind of off the leash, you know what I mean? I would have done it in a more respectful way. It's not that Lefty cuts people off, but it's that he cuts them off. You know, that's just how he podcasts. He does it to everybody, bro. And we all know that, you feel me? He takes over the shit, like I said. And Lucky didn't like that, bro. Lucky felt like, nah, like, you might be big, but this is my shit. And he should have respected that, you feel me? But he should have known how Lefty is, you know what I mean? It is what it is. But if I was him, I would have done it in a more respectful way. And if I was Lucky, I would have made sure that the camera, because that's the reason he wouldn't let that fuck you slide, because the camera heard it. I would have told him, turn this off, let's chop it up off camera. Now, you know, there's homies here, whatever, let's chop it up off camera. And then handle business afterwards, however it goes, it goes. You know, I don't know what would have happened. Maybe they could have worked it out, but at least it wouldn't have looked like he didn't do something. And it doesn't look like that to me. We don't know what happened when the camera went off. I don't know what happened. I wasn't in the room. I'm not going to insinuate anything. I'm not going to put no dirt on nobody's name that I don't know, because I don't know, and none of us do. They haven't said nothing. You know, well, Lefty's kind of said that nothing happened, but if they did get a fade, he can't say that shit anyway. That's SS fucking business that you don't put out. So I don't know. I don't know where the state of Hoodstocks is right now. You know, I think that it's in a teeter-totter spot right now, because a lot of people rock with Lefty regardless who don't like him. A lot of people do. But then again, a lot of people are saying that Lucky wasn't in the wrong. So I don't know. I can't say. I think both of them should have went about this better. And it didn't happen. It is what it is. It's just another bump in the road that we're going to have to get over in this culture. And, you know, we're not the enemies here. Y'all know who the enemies are. You feel me? And it's not us against each other. So this shit has to stop, bro. Like, this shit just pushes us back. You know, that shit really pushed everything back for a lot of this culture, you know, and it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. So anyway, y'all drop y'all's comments down below. Let me know what y'all think about it. I don't want to make this too long. It's just this homie shit, you know what I mean? It happens. The only difference is that it happened in front of 3,000 people on the live, but without that, it probably would have been a lot different. And it, you know, it is what it is. People are gonna have their narratives no matter what. So anyway, y'all drop y'all's comments. Let me know what y'all think. I'm gonna be looking at them. We'll talk in the comments. And yeah, man, I'm Bad News. I'm gonna see you on the next one. This is Bad News Hood Media. Let me know what y'all want to see next, and we're out of here.